The Quack is back, y'all.
Action.
Mighty Ducks? No? Okay, cool. Yeah. You know, I am tired of telling dad jokes today and nobody laughing.
Well, that's what comes with the dad jokes. Sometimes they suck.
No, this entire room, all three of us, should have heard the Mighty Ducks joke and be like, oh, nostalgia, that's awesome. And you failed me.
That's my apologies.
Preach. You weren't a Mighty Ducks fan? What? Bro.
Man, look, we played street hockey because of that movie.
Same, bro.
Like nonstop because of that movie. Loved it.
Yeah.
The knuckle puck, believe it or not, didn't actually work like it did in the movie.
Yeah. No, it does not actually work. And it doesn't do this.
Yeah, it doesn't knuckle at all.
Yeah. That's my knuckle puck, y'all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Hey, what do we decide to call this new version of the podcast again? I know what Wednesdays is.
We didn't really name it. I think What's the Deal is still good though.
Still What's the Deal? What's the deal? I do have the topic. I did remember it.
Cool.
Did you see my job posting the other day? No. DJ does not pay attention to me. Sad duck.
It's not you. It's just social media in general.
Dude, I don't want to say. I see you posting on social.
I do, but I like when you go in and post, it's not like going through. And I probably did see it, honestly. Mm-hmm.
I guess when you're a single man, such as DJ,
that's not it at all.
Things look different on your news feed.
They probably do, but that's not it at all. But I'm actually starting to get, this is weird. I like the ads on mine are starting to be boots ads. I don't own any boots. Getting a lot of real estate stuff, go figure. And a lot of government and stuff like that. I think that's so deep in it now that it's
like it's in your algorithm. Yeah, it's the DNA of.
It's in the programming of my page.
Yeah. So mine is cooking. Mm-hmm. A lot of chef commentary.
Mine used to be a lot of that.
Dude, I love it.
Used to be a lot of that.
Uncle Roger. I love Uncle Roger.
Uncle Roger's great.
Dude.
Uncle Roger's
Hiya.
Hiya.
Fuyo. Yeah. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing that means good. I don't.
Sounds like it. He says
I hope I didn't say anything bad right there.
He says it in that tone.
Yeah. I thought that was a solid.
It was pretty close.
Fuyo. Yeah. No, that second one was worse. Anyway.
It was.
If y'all don't know who Uncle Roger is, he's phenomenal to watch.
Look him up. Cooks fried rice.
That's what he specializes in.
And we'll cuss you out for doing it wrong.
Yes, and it's
in a very uncle, like Asian, authentic Asian uncle.
He's
great.
I really enjoy it. Let me see. So mine is chef commentaries. What is another one? Oh, tons of just real estate leadership and lots of motivational speaking, lots of Robert Kiyosaki, Dave Ramsey, money management stuff. I don't think any of that shocks anybody.
No, we got so if you ever thought about joining our team, prepare yourself for about for the random 8 to 10 o'clock at night Facebook reel from Harrison. That's about confidence or leadership or building programs. The Nick Saban one the other day was really good.
Solid. Mm-hmm. Nick Saban is one of the best motivational speakers on the planet. And it's not that he says or does anything extraordinary. It's it's just good. It's fundamentally sound.
Well, it's real and it's been practiced. And what he says,
I think the proven portion of when he speaks, you're like, whatever this guy says is gold. Yeah. He's the winningest coach in college ever.
Well, when he talks about, look, being great it's not easy. There's no sacrifices in that. There are sacrifices in that. If you want to be great, it's not impossible. You have to do this, you have to do it right, and you have to do it that way 100% of the time. And most people are not committed to that. Mm-hmm. And but you look at what he's done, where he's gone, and how he's done it so consistently. Look, LSU baseball, when we were growing up, was that, right? And you look at it now, year over year, LSU's they're the top signing class in baseball every year, but then they have seasons like they have like right now.
Well, I don't know what that season is, but
It's not very good.
okay. I mean,
Alabama didn't have those seasons. They had dips. Their dips were that they didn't play in the national championship.
Yeah.
But they played in the playoffs and all.
Yeah,
Like
they
they were
were all the way
always in the mix.
Yeah.
You have those. To be great, there is a standard that you have to live at or above.
Yeah.
And it's anything less is not accepted. And so when you get into a place like that, and I think we have that a little bit here, when you get into a place where you're expected to succeed and you see people around you succeed, and there's a game plan and rules on, hey, look, if you do this, you will do this. And you start some kind of self, thought where you're like, well, I'm not doing that, but everybody else is, and they seem to be succeeding. I need to start doing it that way.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just kind of building on that. And so, like I said, a lot of those motivational things you'll share. It's a lot of, guys, it's kind of the way it is up here. You want to win? Here's the game plan. It's not rocket science. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room to be the most successful person in the room. You just got to be the one that's willing to outwork everybody else in the room.
Yeah. I mean, that's really our culture, which is, I describe as a culture of productivity. Your last name doesn't matter. We don't have any like legacy money on the team anymore. Like none of that. Like it is all people, which you said it when you first came, you were like, I see why you're not in certain markets, but I also see why you guys are, even without the legacy names or the big brands or whatever. Like I see how y'all are being successful, and it is just look, if you show up and you work, you are that's how you get praise around here. It's just a culture of like everyone respects the productivity. Like that's the first. We're all here to work.
Yep.
This is our job. If you're not going to be productive, you need to go get one. And I think that's just that common fabric that weaves us all together. Is I want to be successful. You want to be successful. Let's be successful together. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's working out. I mean, not to go back to the same thing we said last week, but when you have consistently year over year people in the top 5 in realtors in the market. I mean, multiple people in the top 10, and we're only 20 something deep. It's a
22. We are signing one today, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
But when you have that and you have that group, and here's the wildest part of all of it. So you have people here like Chris Rux, who's been doing this for quite a while.
Yeah, he's at 7 years.
Yeah,
8
and
years.
Chris will jump in and teach classes left and right. Then you have people like myself who, as a licensed realtor, only been doing it for less than 6 months.
Yeah,
and then you have people, but even before that, I did a lot of other stuff in this world. It's just the paperwork of this world that I'm going through now.
Right.
But then you have people that have never done it. Like they're just jumping out in there. And so you have this room full of people that are just, the mission is, hey, we all want to be number one. And it's, hey, I need some help with this. Okay, cool. Like I have not had one single person on this team big league me or treat me like they were too important to help.
Yeah.
Right. And there's some places and professions you see that. And
yeah, but that would be so weird for me in this building because everyone, I tell our leaders, so that this is actually, if you think of like a pyramid, which is what most businesses are, right? Like at the very bottom, you have your general labor. And then you've got admin and staff, and then you've got your managers, then you have your executives, then you have your business owner, right? That is a typical model for a business. We actually turn that thing upside down. And I tell them that leadership starts from the bottom. And if you want to elevate yourself, you elevate yourself through service. I am, just a few weeks ago, we were preparing for something, and the toilets downstairs were dirty for whatever reason. Don't know why. But we're not going to let our brand and our building be seen like that with our guests. And so I started walking around, and I'm like, where are the cleaning supplies at? And I'm going to grab toilet brushes and sponges and gloves, and I'm cleaning literal human feces out of a toilet. And my staff, my support staff sees me doing it, and they're like, we should probably grab one too, And then, so now everybody, and I'm like, no, that's called servant leadership. Like, it's called serving first and getting the right to lead by doing that. And everyone hopped in, pull from the front at all times. And I think that's our culture. Like, if you want to be elevated, you lower yourself, you go serve. Like, that's how you get elevated. I think that's I think that's very true in a lot of businesses. But that's where you see the fabric of good and great businesses that are growing. Yeah. If the leader is not willing to serve, it's a business that has a half-life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we started talking about Nick, and it made me think about something else. Do you know who Nick Saban's best coaching friend is? You don't know? Nah. This is further social proof that who you hang out with matters and that winners want to hang out with winners. His best friend in coaching was the most winningest coach in the NFL. Who is?
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick. Did you know that they were friends? I didn't know that. I had no idea. But that is from what I read this week. That is his best friend in coaching. That was his closest peer. And is it funny that number one and number one want to be around each other? Can you imagine the conversations they have about coaching?
Yeah, it's probably they probably dive off into the weeds, especially so. Knowing what I know about both of them, Bill Belichick is so incredibly meticulous about the small and tiny details in there. And the different, look, being a former college athlete, the difference between me and my close buddy that was a second-round draft pick was about that much.
Yeah.
But
that much matters.
That much was $1 million a year contract to not getting drafted. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how, as kids are playing from like 5 and 6 years old all the way to, almost 40 years old, everybody's career is going to come to an end. You just don't know when it is, but it's just a funnel. I mean, just go back to that funnel and the funnel gets smaller and smaller and smaller. I think the numbers, and it's like 1% of high school athletes play Division I baseball. 1%. And then from there, when I was in college, there were 50 rounds of the draft. Now there's only, I think, 25 rounds of the draft. So there's even
Isn't that because we started bringing in a lot of international players?
Well, no, it's all baseball's always been a lot of international, a lot of from the Caribbean and stuff like that. But it's because minor league baseball is so expensive to manage. A lot of those guys were making $1,500 a month, and they're working 100+ hour weeks, and it started getting into some labor issues. So they kind of called it back, and I think they cut 45 different minor league programs out to be able to do that, because you have and you have it's A ball, double A, triple A, big leagues. Well, in A ball you have low A, high A, short season. Like there's all it's a lot.
I didn't realize there was that many layers.
Yeah, it's a lot of layers to it. Like players you've never you've never heard of, their futures.
And 99% of them.
Yeah, most of them don't make it to the big leagues. But like I said, that funnel gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And to get the difference between, like I said, and look, I'm going to shout out my buddy. His name's Reed Brignac. He's actually a manager for the Durham Bulls now, or one of the coaches for Durham Bulls now. But he was minor league coach of the year 2 years in a row, the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Killing it. Second round draft pick, played shortstop for Tampa Bay, played 9 years in the league. When Derek Jeter got hurt in his last year, the Yankees signed him. He played shortstop for Derek Jeter's, IR stint, and as soon as he got back, they let him go. And but he had a great career. And like I said, this is a guy from the time I was 11 years old. We shared a batting cage together. Always were hitting together. Always playing together. Still mad at me that I went to a different high school than his because they only won one state championship. They could have won two. He's like, we needed pitching my junior year. And
yeah.
So, but the wild part on all of that, like you said, like we grew up together. Great ball player. And the difference between, and he'll tell you the difference between him and Derek Jeter. is only this much. Like it's just the difference between being good and great is very, very thin line. And so I guess back to wrap it all up.
And I would argue that the difference between good and great and that little bit more is that person who, they worked on perfect practice makes perfect. They showed up at every workout. They woke up early. They went to bed early. Now, some people like Johnny Manziel, right? Like he's just a freak.
Some people have talent.
Yeah.
But even talent
Could you imagine
catches up.
If Johnny was a disciplined person?
No, he's that's a Hall of Famer. That's a Hall of Famer is
Would he have
someone
blown
with
everybody
talent
out of the
and
water?
work ethic.
But would he have blown everybody out of the water? Like I'm a Ronnie Coleman fan. If you don't know who Ronnie Coleman is, I don't care what you say. You cannot argue with me. Best bodybuilder ever in the history of bodybuilding.
He may also come from your hometown too, right?
He does come from Bastrop, Louisiana. Yeah, but that's not why I'm a fan. I didn't know that. But he was the first of, I say the first, I think he was the, we call them, in the bodybuilding world, they call them mass monsters. This is where, they're pumping HGH and they're huge. But that is where talent and DNA and genetics met discipline and work ethic. I mean, the dude was just a freak. And God gave him the ability to grow muscle. And he goes, I'll take full advantage, God. And he did. And he did. And it really breaks my heart to see him today.
Yeah.
It's really sad. If you don't know, like he can barely walk. If he can even walk at this point.
That's the stress on the body with lifting heavy ass weight, like he used to say.
Well, if you've ever heard have you ever seen the black guy in like the strapped Speedo?
Yeah.
The stringers,
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Lightweight.
Very high pitched voice.
Everybody wants to be big. Nobody wants to lift his heavy ass weight.
That's right. That's
right. And he's so entertaining. And he was a DFW cop was his actual day job. But of course, he's sponsored by every health and nutrition company in the world.
Yeah.
So he's done well for himself. But I mean, that is when I think about talent meets discipline in the long term and is consistent in the activity. That's one of the things that I think about. Like, man, that dude is nuts. And Johnny Manziel would be the same way. Like, I mean, the dude was a monster. And if you hear the stories, like, holy cow.
He just went out. Look, when you get to college as a student athlete, you realize there's a very real world where, mom and daddy ain't waking you up every day. You have choices. It's the first time in your life where you make choices that,
like, the teacher they don't send mom and dad or give them a phone call when you don't show up or you're late. They lock the door and just go, sorry, you're late.
Yeah, like growing up, and look, this is not for everybody, because a lot of people, there are people out there would argue that, in high school I had to do this. I had a buddy of mine that grew up around here. His mom didn't live here. He had to wake himself up every day for high school, like all of that. Lived in an apartment, all that. But on the most part, most kids that go to college, when you go to college, it's the first time in your life that decisions that you make reflect on your day-to-day actions and outcomes every day. You can make bad decisions in high school. You go home, dad whip your ass, and okay, I'm in line, I'm in check, and I'm moving forward.
Right. They take care of the mess for you, or they support you through the mess. Yep. In college, and I agree with you. I remember, my first bit of freedom is when you drive your car by your first time, right? You get your driver's license, and then your parents are like, all right, well, it's your day to leave by yourself. You remember that feeling? I remember I was driving a red S10 down Current Drive, and I was like, I'm free, right? And my next bit of freedom was when I graduated and went to college. Now, I still lived at home. At that time, for a very short period, I got kicked out of the house real early. Shocker. If you want to live your life your way, son, then you need to go pay for it your way.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And I think more parents should do that, honestly. I resented them for a little bit, but after that, I was like, you know what? Just made me grow up quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 years of messing it all up, and I was like, I think I need to start getting serious about life. It took me another 3 or 4 years after that to really get serious about life, but at least I started to see it like no one in this life is coming to rescue you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's your first taste of wisdom. That was part of that conversation I had last night. I was like, at 42, I always thought I knew what wisdom was. The amount of loss I've gone through in the last 10 years, and the stress and how I got through it and getting through it. like I look at that, I'm like, well, I have the wisdom now to know how to fail and know what to not do.
Yes.
And, sometimes that's what it takes, knowing what not to do, not what to do. Being successful is not, it's very easy sometimes. Sometimes it's not, but, make the right decisions.
The startup is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Because your body is fighting that which is natural. And so what is not natural to you, which is new habits consistently over time. Who wants to say, well, I'm going to wake up, regardless of what happens the night before, regardless of what goes on, I am going to wake up every morning at 6 o'clock. I am going to go for a 30-minute walk. I am going to listen to an audiobook and grow for 30 minutes. I am going to write down a gratitude. I am going to say an affirmation to myself. I am going to show up to work prepared with a smile on my face. It doesn't matter if I'm a janitor looking to be the king of janitors, or I'm looking to be the best salesperson, or I'm trying to grow my way to CEO at someone else's company, be an entrepreneur, whatever that thing is, it's saying, I will do those things daily.
Yeah.
That's how you win.
Yeah.
And your body doesn't want that. It doesn't want that because that's hard. I actually saw it today on a Zoom call. People fighting success. People fighting the thing that's going to help them the most.
I'd be arguing with you if I said I wasn't one. Like, I didn't go to the gym this morning at 6. And it was, today's a cardio day. So
You're like, I can skip cardio.
Right. But it's one of those things, it's a cardio day. You start making excuses for yourself. Well, I got baseball practice tonight, so I'm going to knock a lot of that out, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it's, for me, the beauty of this for me is like when I get off of work, I can run the Mac, go do that, pick up the kids, go to baseball.
Yeah.
And it works out that way. I will catch it on the back end. Now, a lot of time, past life, I didn't have that freedom to really leave at a certain time, be able to go work. A lot of my last job was working on the phone, but it's go walk on a treadmill on your headset, talking to customers and stuff like that. I'm allowed to do that in this world. So there's ways around it, but I still should have been up at 6. I still should have gone and done that this morning. But same at work, like this, we talk about, and it's not that I'm fighting it. It's that there's a lot going on right now with getting things out and figuring out the systems and building the commercial side of what we're doing here. That there's also, it's like we're building 2 airplanes and flying them both at the same time. And so
it might even be 3.
It's like getting in there and trying to figure this side out and also do this, and it really figuring out how to mesh them together at the same time.
Wait until you get you licensed in Florida and Dallas. And we're running a national commercial firm.
I'm okay with that, and I'm ready for that. It's just I am still 6 months in.
No, you're fine. It's funny for me on that level because I don't view you as 6 months in.
No,
and I think you probably tell that I treat you like that. I don't mean to. I think that should actually be flattering because I think that should tell you my innate opinion of you.
It is, and it's the 5 years before this was doing a lot of this too. It's just like I said, I guess I don't want to put in weaknesses out there. My weakness now it's the paperwork of all of this.
Yeah. Well, the paperwork portion we can handle.
Yeah, and I've never had to do that in the last one. It was just a lot of selling and figuring out how things flow and things like that, and making dominoes line up in a certain way, which is a lot of what we do here. I mean, crazy. I have properties that have been pending for 2 months now, and
welcome to the hell of commercial.
One that is, we pinned it last night. They said this huge package we put out. There were 3 or 4 properties in there that I thought we might get stuck with.
Yeah.
One of them got
first one to go. Yeah.
First one to go. Yeah. And it was just there's a lot of fixer uppers in that package. And so I mean, if you own a construction company, you want to get in this. There's a lot of good stuff in here.
If you got labor sitting on the ground at hourly rates or day rates, buying stuff like that makes complete sense.
Yep. Yeah. But it's not going to be for everyone. Right.
Yeah.
And it just so happened one of these
it's great
was one of
FKD. It's cash flow property.
Yeah. One of these was a company like that, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to go in, build it out themselves, and but it's still it's still the beauty of real estate is sometimes it's so damn unpredictable. Like I text you last night at 10 o'clock. And like, of all the 40 doors on this thing, this is not the first one I thought would be sold out of this package. But here we are with an agreed upon everything.
Yep.
So it's like, all right, I guess this is what it is. And the package is still available if y'all want to buy it. Make an offer. Bank is very willing to sell.
Yeah. Still got what, 33 doors on that package available?
I think what there's a couple duplexes that we grouped together. It was 34 listings all in all, or 33 listings all in all. We grouped 4 of them together, so that's 29. 4 of them are land. There's a bunch of duplexes in there, but it's majority, residential income, housing, some of which have tenants, some that don't.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, very cool. All right, well, that is going to wrap us up for our 20 minutes today, guys. Today, I guess, is what's the deal with getting incrementally better?
Yeah.
I think that's what we talked about accidentally, because I had a whole nother topic, which is what we're going to talk about on the next podcast now. And we just never got there. We could have spun off the Nick Saban thing, and then I was like, I'd rather talk about Bill Belichick for a second.
Yeah. Leadership is good. I mean, it takes to build things. You have to have good talent, but you have to have good leadership. And because the crazy part, like a few months ago, we did the with Melanie Massey and figuring out who's what and what skill sets you have, and everybody can be led differently. I was one of those ones as a kid. Like if you rip my head off and spit down my throat and got angry with me, I was better.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of kids that I see, like my kids, if I do that to them,
shut down.
Completely shut down.
Yeah.
So it's
if I were to yell at Clayton, he'd just go sit in the corner and just like rock back and forth. Like that doesn't speak to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't speak to my kids either. And so like even for me, like being a leader to my kids, I'm starting to learn these things.
But I say that I would have locked up too before I was like 16, 17. I had a lot of adversity I had to overcome. I was a big kid in high school. I'm not gonna say I wasn't like well liked, but I wasn't in the cool popular kid crowd, you know, and had some people be pretty mean to me. And it took me a little while to realize that I'm as powerful as I want to be, and standing up for yourself is okay. And ever since then, like something in my head just snapped, and I was like, people won't treat me like that anymore. And now adversity just makes me rise up. Like making me your enemy makes me want to work harder. I'm willing to bet on myself in a hard work versus hard work competition. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, growing up, I've learned that being in the middle is not a bad thing. I was a kid that got picked on all the time. Yeah. And then, I shot up 6 inches one summer and was actually pretty athletic, but I was still.
The middle ain't so little no more,
huh? I was still one of the biggest nerds you'll ever meet. Still am. And I told somebody this the other day. I said, we're all nerds, just faking, trying to be cool.
Oh, 100%.
Every single one of us. Because you'll name a single guy, like ladies out there, if you ever meet a guy and they're cool, but then you really get to know them and you start to actually, God, this guy's kind of a dork. Every single one of us. Even my cool friends, every single one of them.
All right, before we end this show, because we're already over 5 minutes over the time limit. All right, what is the singular most nerdy thing about you and Go?
Oh, dude, my hobby is video games.
Do you still play video games?
All the time.
God,
all the time.
That's
and it's the
bad.
same ones. Like it's the same. It's Fallout, Fortnite, like
your kids probably
football.
like to play most of that with you. Yeah.
Well, they're playing Roblox and all that stuff, but it's all open world type stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so mine is I sing Disney songs 24/7.
Oh, I can beat anybody in Disney trivia. Anybody. That's a secret talent I have. Anybody in Disney trivia. If you want to be beat, we can play.
Fine. I got it. I have a question that you can't answer.
Okay.
Hottest Disney princess.
Come on.
That's Disney trivia.
That's not trivia.
Yeah, it is.
That's opinion.
It's Harrison's version.
That's opinion.
So who is, knowing me,
who's yours?
Who is Disney's hottest princess?
It's either Elsa or
I
don't know of any of them with.
I don't know how to.
Yeah, I would say Elsa from Frozen.
Ain't wrong.
Yeah, you're asking an opinion. That's not facts.
That is, it is
Well, it's facts for you.
I've
but
been
it's not.
saying it for years. And it just so everybody knows, this is not like 36-year-old Harrison picking this princess.
Yeah.
This is like 17-year-old Harrison picked this princess, and I've just been faithful.
Yeah.
I've been loyal.
Cinderella.
No, you're so far off the mark.
Well.
It's bad. Like, you're off the mark is bad.
Yeah.
Not my selection.
Oh, your selection is probably bad too.
It's off. It's awesome.
Yeah. Who is it?
I can't.
So we can end this.
Really? Think back. Think hard.
Until next time, thank you guys for tuning in.
It's Princess Jasmine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she's solid. She's solid.
But does it make sense, though?
Show you
Also, my favorite song out of all the Disney movies. Yes.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Until next time.
Sorry that spiraled.
I love you guys. Bye.
Bye.